Hello and welcome back to the Bell Lap.
So, previewing now the men's 1500, which is going to be one of the races of the championships. This is going to be huge.
48 entries, I believe, which is huge.
I wonder how they're going to split that in heats. It's going to be hard just to get to the final in this thing. There are so many guys who've run quick this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be an extremely competitive event. Do you want to go through who has the qualifying standard?
Yep.
So the guys who have the qualifying standard, if they're in the top two, automatic selection. If they're third, they're going to give themselves a very good chance because it'd be so hard to use discretion in this because they're also evenly matched. So yeah, talk us through the main contenders.
Charlie Grice, 330.62. Josh Kerr, 331. Jake Whiteman, 331. Elliot Giles, 333. But he is not on the entry list. He is actually running the 800. Jake Hayward, 333. Pierce Copeland, 334. Okay. So they're all the ones with the time.
Those are the guys with the time. And then, like we've mentioned in a couple of previews before, there are a few guys who are just outside the time, but who might end up getting enough rankings points if they run really well this weekend at the trials. And those would be George Mills, Archie Davis, and James West, probably. James West has actually run the time in 2020, but it was in that like dark period when they weren't allowing qualifying standards. The window was shut for a bit, even though it has been open since 2019. So, okay, let's talk about each of those guys in turn in a little bit more detail.
Yep.
So Charlie Grice.
He's been running well.
Charlie Grice is an Olympic finalist from 2016. I think in the past there may have been question marks about his ability in tactical or slow races. He's not always done that well at the British Championships. For instance, last year he ran 3:30 at Monaco. No, sorry, 2019 he ran 3:30 in Monaco and didn't make the GB team for the World Championships. But the point there is that the three guys who did make the team all then made the final. So that's the standard here. Like if you get on the GB team, you're like expected to make the final.
Yeah, you're good.
Having said that, Charlie can run well in tactical races. He qualified for the Olympic final in 2016, so he got through the Olympic semi-final, which is like one of the hardest tactical races that there is out there. Yeah. So he can do it. I saw him down at St Mary's the other day. He looked extremely sharp. I think he is going to be there or thereabouts.
And then we got Josh Kerr up next. Go Lobos.
Go Lobos.
We're big Josh Kerr fans.
We are big Josh Kerr fans.
He's obviously, he just blows fields away. Like he ran recently and won by what, 4 seconds, 5 seconds even.
Yeah, I mean he's just been destroying these fields in the US.
Yeah. He's just he's the one to beat really, isn't he? But he's just so strong, and you know all his races are pretty good. Like he never really falters, I feel.
Yeah. He's one of those guys as well who likes to take it on from a little way out. He's won NCAA titles doing that. Yeah. He can just boot it from the bell, basically, can't he?
Yeah.
He also came 6th in the 2019 World Championships, I think.
Yeah.
So he's better this year, I think, than he was in 2019. Okay, next one.
Jake Whiteman. Everyone knows who Jake Whiteman is. So.
Everyone knows who Jake. So what I will say about Jake though is, I think Jake might be. Like, if you looked at bookies' favourites for the Olympic Games gold medal, Jake's in, like, top 3 or 4 now. Because, like we saw the other day at the Kenyan trials, Tim Chariot's out. Matt Centris is maybe not the force he once was. You've still got Inga Britson, you've got, like, Ollie Hall, guys like that, but Jake's as good as those guys. Jake won in Hengelo the other day, looked amazing. Beat the guy who won the Kenyan trials, Charles Samotwo. So he can basically beat anyone in the world.
Yeah.
But first, he's got to be the best in Britain, and that's not going to be an easy task, is it?
Yeah. It's almost the most stressful part, isn't it? Just getting there, getting to the games.
And I think these guys who are expected to do well at the Olympic Games find this weekend really stressful, really high pressure. And it's about how they cope with that. I think.
It shows. Yeah, if you're going to cope well at that, you're going to cope well at the Olympics. So.
And however good they are, they're not walking onto this team. No one's walking onto this team.
No. And could be someone from the outside that comes through and it's a tactical race and they've got a good finish.
The reason, it changes it completely. If it's a 3:45 race, then I don't think Grice, Kerr, and Whiteman are definitely clearly. There's no separation in it. So the reason it's going to be so hard to get onto that team is because you've got guys like Jake Hayward. Jake Hayward looks so good this year in his bright green Oregon Track Club singlet. He's just been sitting behind the pacer and a couple of those races in America, just like running 3:33. I mean, a very difficult thing to do, and
Yeah.
he's looked really good doing it.
And obviously, there's two big names missing from this lineup.
Yeah.
Neil Gourley and Chris O'Hare.
So Neil Gourley was one of the guys we mentioned who made the 2019 World Final. Sadly injured, having dealt with COVID earlier in the year, which he picked up at the European Indoors. It's just been a struggle for him since then. Really tough. And Chris O'Hare.
Chris O'Hare's had surgery, hasn't he?
Yeah, he had like some hip issues, quite a lot of hip issues, it seems like. I mean, and Chris is obviously a stalwart of the British 1500 metre scene, so I'm really hoping that he can get it back together and get himself healthy again.
Yeah.
But one of the rising stars, who might be a big name in the next 5 or 10 years, is Piers Copeland, I think. He might be a big name this year.
Yeah.
That's how good he is. Like, he's run 3:34 this year, and the guy finishes like a train. Like, you would not want to be Grice, Kerr, or Whiteman and have Copeland anywhere near you with 100 metres to go. He's a hunter, so scary prospect, I would say. The guy's seriously talented.
Yeah. Then you've obviously got George Mills, Archie Davis, James West, who are there lurking.
Exactly.
Ready to pounce.
Absolutely.
Ready to take one of those spots.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, George Mills won 2 British titles in 2020. I know it wasn't the same level of this British champs, but he won indoors and outdoors. Again, he's a guy who knows how to win races, which is a skill. Not everyone has that skill. But you could say that, I mean, Archie Davis has looked even better than him this year. Archie Davis has looked great.
And then you've got like the likes of Tom Mortimer.
Yeah.
Who's a 5K runner who's just dropping down for the 1500.
Yeah, so I think Tom's basically getting ready for the European Under-23 Championships, 5,000, as far as I know. But he won the Loughborough International 1500. He is in the form of his life over 5,000.
Yeah, he ran European Team Championships, ran a really good race there.
Yeah, so I mean, if he gets in the final, maybe he'll just take it on and then keep it quick, and that will thin out some of the traffic and give everyone a bit of a smoother run. We'll have to see how it plays out. There's so many different scenarios that could happen in this race, and that's what makes it so exciting. You have to watch this race. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Let's do our predictions.
Should I go?
You go, yeah.
Right. Oh, this is hard. Right, I'm going to go Jake Whiteman for the win.
Okay.
He's just got a good finish.
He's never won a British title, I think.
Really?
Don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Well, we'll root for him.
Yeah.
Josh Kerr second.
Okay.
I think Charlie Grice might just crumble a little bit under the pressure.
Sorry, Charlie.
So, you know, I'm going to put Jake Hayward in third.
Wow. Okay. So you went Jake, Josh, Jake.
Jake.
Okay. I'm gonna back Josh Kerr for the win.
Go.
I'm gonna say Jake Wyman comes second, and then Piers Copeland takes out like 3 people in the home straight.
Someone's just knocking Charlie Grice completely out.
I feel bad. Charlie's gonna do it now, isn't he? But okay, picks are in. I've gone Josh, Jake, Piers. You've gone Jake, Josh, Jake.
Jake.
Nice. Okay, tune in